maybe we could go back to the councillor recommendations or council staff recommendations while we wait for Ms. Vesty. Okay.
Page 18, Mr Chairman, of agenda item 8.
Agenda item 8. Yeah, you're right. 17. Okay.
Yeah, Mr Chairman, page 18, Regional Park Reserves. This here seeks a carry forward of 500,000. It refers to cycleways, the cycleway program. Councillors will remember that there was about 5 million put aside on the cycleway program, and this is the end of that program. There's been a lot achieved, but a little bit to be done, or remaining to be done, or will remain to be done at the end of June, relates to the pedestrian crossing facility at Blackbridge, which is incredibly dangerous at the moment. So there's going to be handrails inner and outer installed there, and the estimated cost is 400,000, and that will be done in the 13-14 year. The money is provided, or currently in the budgets for 12-13. There's also 100,000 left in the program that there is a request to carry that forward to fund information signage, distance and direction signage, planting, seating, etc., etc. So there's 500,000 remaining in that cycleway program. There's a recommendation that the full 500,000 be carried forward for those reasons. It's noted here the funding of that is through loan funding. That's council loan funding, so there's no general funded effect on this recommendation.
So we're carrying forward the provision, if you like, of that of that borrowing.
Yes, and so the expenditure's carried forward, and the provision of the borrowing is also carried forward.
Okay. Questions, Councillor Scott?
Yes, thank you, Mr Chairman, and thank you for clarifying that this is from the loan and not from the John Key cycleway money. But some of this looks as if it is fairly gold-plated level of provision. Is there any chance that some of this could have been redirected towards a Central Hawke's Bay contribution for their cycleway?
Yeah, Mike may be able to pick up on some of this, but the 400,000 is the big bit, which is your Blackbridge one. I understand that the concrete path has to be extended out 30 centimetres.
So it's not just a rail, it's a rebuilding
no, I
of
thought
the...
it was too. The concrete has to go out 30 centimetres, and the rail on both sides has to be renewed because the rail on the current side, which is the right-hand side, is not strong enough, or not considered to be strong enough.
However, my question still remains, is there any way some of this money could be set aside to assist the establishment of a Central Hawke's Bay cycleway?
My understanding, if I may take over from here, and I haven't been intimately involved in this, but my understanding is that this is the cost of the work that is necessary to safely provide for cyclists crossing the Tugi Black Bridge. So no, it's got to be done in total. And the design has been worked through with Hastings District Council, and I understand consultants. So,
Mr. Chairman, I accept that, but it's the planting and the seats. Sorry, the planting and the seats and everything else. Is there any room in there to squeeze a bit out for another project?
Yeah, I haven't seen a list of those works, to be fair, but I certainly acknowledge that there needs to be a lot more signage for people foreign to the bay, and there'll be other work as well. Yeah. But no, I do not have a list of that. The engineers.
Sorry, I can probably add a little bit. This I understand has come from a audit that New Zealand Cycle Trails people did of the current cycleway, and have provided us with a whole list of work that needs to be completed to enable us to sign off as far as they're concerned, and therefore collect the their contribution in total.
Can I just follow up on that? Sorry, Mr. Chairman, to cut across. So it's a condition of the arrangement we entered into with the Crown around the cycleways that we complete the work.
Yeah,
is that right?
That's my understanding, but I'm sorry, I'm not, haven't been close to it, and I can't give an absolute answer to that one. But yeah.
Why don't you just suggest
Yeah.
email?
Yeah, we can. Well, I'm not sure how much documentation there is, but certainly we're able to provide you with an update in terms of memo.
Is it, just my question quite simply, is this a consultant / designer's estimated price, or is this a contracted delivery price?
Don't know, to be honest. I really don't know.
Okay.
Well, could I ask an associated question? The interest on this loan, where does that appear in the budget? What component of the budget?
Yeah, the interest is funded from what we call a sale of land non-investment reserve. Yeah,
Right, you've lost
so
me
it doesn't
already.
hit the bottom line.
Yeah, that's okay.
Any other questions? You happy to move, Councillor? Happy to second? You wish to speak? Anyone wish to speak? I'll put that motion then. All those in favour, please say aye. Contrary, no. Carried. Thank you. What's our time there? We'll do the next one. Okay. Which is, excuse me, 385.
Yeah, 385, Mr. Chairman. This refers to open space projects. Now, there was considerable funding put aside, all loan funding, to put aside for provision of open space projects. There's been quite a lot spent on open spaces, which you'll recall, but there is now 900,000 left in that fund. It's been in the 2012-13 budget, and to date nothing spent against that. So the request here is to merely move that forward to 13-14 when projects, its anticipated projects will be identified. Again, it's loan funding, so the loan will move forward and the expenditure will move forward.
Questions? Councillor Douglas.
I'm sorry, it's maybe another naive question. If there was no expenditure last financial year and we don't know of anything coming forward, my question is, what is the point?
Yes, Councillor. Mr. Adey is in charge of this project, and Mr. Adey does have a list of ideas.
Oh, he's full of ideas. There's no question about that.
I think this is a little bit confusing. You or council set aside $7.5 million for community facilities and open spaces. In that, there has been quite a lot of expenditure, including the Hawke's Bay Museum, including the Waipawa Town Hall. Now, there's commitments associated with Te Mā, 300,000 for Waimarama Reserve from here, and a whole range of other things. Plus the 1.5 odd million for the cycle trails as our contribution. So that's where we're at. The remaining money in that loan facility is about 900,000, and that's the subject of this paper. Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry if I'm now demonstrating completely being thick. The projects you talked about, such as the Wairoa one and so on, are in 893 in here,
Yeah.
as a separate carry forward. Personally, may have a problem with the projects, but not with the intention. This is a dollar per money that has been set aside for projects not known in detail. And my attitude to funding of anything is, if you don't know why you want it, you shouldn't provide for it. And if the loan goes from 7.5 million down to 6.6 million, we're peed because we've saved some interest on another project, or we could think of another reason to spend money at a later date. But simply because it's there to carry it forward, in my opinion, is not a good idea. Sorry, I'm making a speech rather than a question. No. But I'm just reiterating why I'm trying to press you a little to say, unless there's something on the horizon, a carry forward may not be a good idea. Now, if you say we've got 3 or 4 ideas that are going to come to fruition, then I will fold my tent.
Yep. This is carrying forward a provision. There is nothing associated directly with it or identified with it. So, yeah, I don't know what.
Mr. Chairman, can I clarify that we've got a paper coming to Council on this very topic, which was meant to detail the various projects that were on the table, plus all the costs of maintaining our open space stock. So can we have greater clarity than there's just the provision and nothing else is behind it? That's just simply not.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, through you, Mr. Chairman. On page 50 and 51, Mr. Adey has set down in his comments on the Waipukurau to Waipawa walkway. He's actually alluded on page 51 to how he sees some of the areas that could be funded from the open spaces remaining fund, and there it is on item 6. He refers to Peka Peka, Tutira, Pakawhai, additional cycle trails that can be put up for completion, and there's wetland areas and riverburn areas in the Upper Tukituk. So there are ideas out there. It is your expectation to bring a paper to council at some time. The issue here is that if you leave the money in the budget when ideas are brought up and they're soundly based and approved, the money is provided in the budget. Just because the money is provided in the budget, you don't have to spend it, but it's in there.
Yes, just in respect to Councillor Douglas's comments, I think that well made. Nevertheless, there could be an opportunity to acquire land for open spaces that just could come out of the blue like that, in which case we would be able to fund it.
Yeah.
I'm happy to move, Mr. Chair.
Happy to move. Happy to second. Wish to speak, Councillor?
I just think we do need that greater detail that my new colleague has talked about, and I know it's there, and I look forward to receiving that. And the point's well made that we've got a provision, there is a plan sitting behind it, and we just need to see the detail.
Sorry, other speakers? Excuse me, I'll put that motion then. All those in favour, please say aye. Contrary, no. Carried.